Howdy all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to another episode on my Let's Play Transport Fever 2 Free Mode Edition. In the previous episode, we saw the last operating steam engine on our railroad finally come to the end of the line, resulting in the railroad finally being fully embraced with dieselization. And in this episode, we're going to continue on expanding our services, as well as starting to transport commodities that are sorely needed in many of our towns. Now, one thing is for sure, though, some of our tracks might need a bit of an upgrade. Like this, for example, it's starting to get a little too crowded here. I might have to basically extend this track over this to reach this area here. Because unless I'm able to do that, all of my trains are just going to get stuck in one spot. Speaking of which, we now got some new vehicles. Some conveyor belts, some new Renault trucks, and some new iron ore hoppers, which we could possibly use to replace the aging ones. I mean, they're not designed primarily to carry loads at speed, but hey, at least it does something. Now let's see, where is iron ore? I should have an iron ore train somewhere. Train E5. You both will basic E5A. Wait, where's E5B? I need to have a look. Oh, there's one up there. But I really don't need to connect to every industry, so I'll need to fix that. Now, as for the cars on this consist, I think it's time for a replacement. Let's see, the gondolas from the 1900 era, basically these could hold up to 24 units and go up to 50 miles an hour. These iron ore jetties can only carry half of that, but they only go at 45 miles an hour. Though these new modern ones can hold up to 36 units. So I think this is probably the much better option. Alright. I think the next industry that I should try to at least establish is basically the calcium carbonate industry. Now, the only place it needs it is in this construction materials plant near Cedar Point. We'll have to basically get that powder up there. Furthermore, I think our airports might need a full-on upgrade. But actually, though, one particular industry I think we'll sorely need is fuel. In order to get fuel, we need to turn raw oil into regular refined oil and then process it. There is an oil refinery not too far from Granite, so we'll basically start connecting to that. 2 tracks, 360 meters, catenary wire, because why would I need it in that area? Because it's all diesel traction now. Disable the catenary wire and construct the track. Although I could use the refined oil that's at the recycling plant. Well, not recycling plant, oh gosh, I've forgotten. The separation plant. If I just picked up oil from there, that would basically be a little too easy. I'd rather just basically transport oil there and bring out refined oil. I'll then need to build a track to the right outside of the freight yard that rolls into the city of Granite. Go through this hill. And allow the grades to slowly climb up. We'll also use the same track later on to deliver supplies for the goods factory here. We'll need to curve it to the right. We'll make this into a cutting instead of a tunnel. Too much slope. I had a feeling something like that was going to happen. There we go. I had to build a bridge. All of a sudden reason, I don't know why. Now, with that out of the way, we can at least now add the signals for the new line. And once that is in place, we'll also need to figure out what locomotives that we'll need to run this service. But one thing's for sure, though, I'll need to replace this aging semaphore signal with a new color light one, because now there's a junction switch. Now, let's see. I'll need to set up a new service to carry raw oil. Liquids, raw oil, I need to create freight train. Let's see. A3B. Pick up oil from Blue Water City West. Full load. And then just bring it to the refinery up here. Let's see. Freight train. Let's see. DB. A-3B. Liquids. Raw oil. Now we'll just need to basically get another freight train to carry that load. Now then, let's see, what diesels do we have available? Well, most of the diesels I already have are in service already. What about multiple units? Guess I'll have to go for another Alco PA. Not a PA, an FA. And get a couple of these tankers. By the way, I need to get rid of these to see how much commodities I can carry with this without the two Alcos. And then I'll need to add a caboose to the back end of this train. A little too long, so it'll have to be 754 units instead. We'll put it into that service. We'll then pick up loads of crude oil and take it to the refinery. Though, of course, it is only picking up crude oil, and it is only dropping it off, so it doesn't need to be refitted. Now, let's actually have a look at the fuel refinery here in Leamington. There's only 4 towns that need it: Kingsburg, Pine Valley, Blue Water City, and Javaburg. We could basically set up a 5-track station, reserve 1 track for the train carrying oil, and the 4 other tracks for delivering fuel to the local towns. I'll have to eventually build a connecting track from this main line up there. Let's see. That'll do. Build a crossing. Convert that into something else. Do that. Do that. And do this to finish the connection. Then I'll need to do this and that for that yard for those sidings. Too much curvature, what? Sometimes these signals can really be a pain. Well, other than that, though, let's see. We'll add this signal here and the signal there. And basically put down a dwarf signal around here. If we're lucky to fit one in these signings, yeah, that will work nicely. Now I just have to set up another train to pick up the refined oil and take it to the fuel refinery. Full load, blue, and assign it to this track here on track 5. It will only unload, and it will only load basically refined oil. And this will be freight train. Let's see, it's freight train A, but what particular commodity? Ah, liquids. So it's A to B. Liquids, refined oil. All the while, how am I going to basically fix this problem with all the traffic on this line? Let's see, the destination for this is always basically this line. So I might have to eventually continue building the track to the left and... Oh, great, a train got stuck. There we go. Yeah, the signals have already been set up this way. What route does this train take? Oh, this one. Okay. Now, let's see. I think I'll basically have to get another set of Alco FAs for this operation. Let's see. I'll clone this train and put it to the new service that we established. Now, refined oil can be delivered to this Leamington fuel refinery. And that means fuel can now basically be delivered to our to our communities around the area. Let's see. A lot of commodities have been brought into Blue Water City, and it is growing. Riverside needs some cigars. Well, cigars, building materials, goods, and asphalt. And we got some new airplanes and some new diesel locomotives. This being the EMD GP series, I believe. Yeah, now we could actually start replacing some of our aging, add some new diesel power to our roster. Some new box cars. Now, let's see. Actually, why don't we just replace the Alco FAs on all of our on the trains that use them with the new locomotives that we got. Let's see. There's so many darn trains with these locomotives. It's going to be difficult to find out which one is which. Actually, I think I'll probably just stick it to the newest ones. Let's see. Let's head to... Let's just basically check the services. Yeah, this one, as well as... Let's see. This one, they'll have their locomotives swapped for the new diesels. Let's see. The new diesel type is known as the EMD GP30. And this diesel locomotive is a lot stronger compared to many of the older locomotives. We'll basically put down the new high hood variants on these trains. And I just deleted something. I'll need to go back and basically redo it. And to make things a little easier, the reverse unit is going to go on the back. And then just simply move these to the front. They'll cost about $14.8 for these modifications, but I think freight trains moving forward will have this new diesel locomotive in charge. Which, as we can see, these new diesels are starting to easily prove their worth with this freight train. They only produce about over 9,000 horsepower, but at least, however, these diesels are still capable of handling a load of cars. Speaking of which, Grand Valley has basically gone up pretty high with a lot of people traveling by train. I also realized that the train carrying the asphalt is not showing up in the gondolas for some reason. So I'll have to basically fix that. Let's see, asphalt there. Yeah, I only have 2 trains carrying asphalt. So, all of these will basically have these gondolas removed because they're not carrying mineral and have a freight car that does carry asphalt. Let's see. Silver ore, cigarettes, asphalt. And we need to check the cargo that carries asphalt. I'll just use these flat cars. $310 is all I can muster to do this. And basically, I think I'll have to do the same for this one too. Well, actually, 270 for some reason. But it still works all the same. because now we got tubs of asphalt. Now, has this oil well began producing oil needed? Indeed, it has. Now that it has supplied two oil areas that need raw oil, it's now waiting to be loaded up. Let's see. We'll need to start also supplying goods and goods, but they require both plastics and steel. Let's see. There's the bioplastics plant near Black Diamond City, and the one near Riverside that requires refined oil. Considering that this one is super close onto the main line, I could easily just transport sugar or wheat on that line. Because, looking on this, there's actually no freight trains that actually run on this line. So let's see. The only place that needs plastics is the goods factories, so it's only going to be a free track station. One to pick up loads of plastics, the other two to drop off supplies. I'll build a small country road and connect it to the factory. I then have to basically find a way to connect it to the main line, like here. Connect. And then basically do a switch to connect to this building. And change the switch, and then place down the signals on this line. I'll have to place some new ones here because of the new junction, and replace these two. Now, I just need to do is just deliver sugar or wheat. There is a couple of industries in the region that I could use for delivering sugar and wheat. Now, let's see. We got the grain farms both here already. And according to suppliers, there's already been served. There's only one sugar farm, and that's in Greenwood. But not all the tracks are being used for delivering sugar. This could be the opportunity we need. It'll pick up the loads of sugar and actually bring it down here to Upper Black Diamond City. 10 minutes. Freight, train. Let's see, which one was it for? Farm products. Farm products, sugarcane. So it's going to be B4D. Farm products, sugarcane. And also, now that I realize that there's going to be the only commodity needed at this factory, I don't think I really need to have this third platform now. I need to do the same. We need to build a switch. Construction not possible. Are you serious, game? Sometimes your track leading algorithm can sometimes really annoy me. Alright. Now I just need to set up another train to pick up the loads of sugarcane. Let's see. Let's basically add the new diesel engines that we have seen so far. Which, going to diesels, we could also just go for the demonstrator units as well. But I'd rather just use the generic variants myself for this operation. Now, it needs to carry sugarcane. We could try carrying them in these open H12 hoppers, but I'm a little skeptical on how high the load will be. With that out of the way, we'll add a caboose, assign it to the new route, and that being our 100th train, I think we reached a pretty good ending point for today's episode. So, if you enjoyed this episode of my Let's Play Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. The Texas Gaming Industry for new video uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my on-site schedule. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!